So we're doing a special Sunday night, or well, yeah, it's about nighttime now. Sunday night live with you guys. Wesley wanted to join me on here and chat with you guys and do a live. And he's like, Dad, we should do a live together. And I thought that was a good idea because we've never done a live together. And he's never really wanted to do a live together. So that's what we're going to do here tonight. And plus, we got some new internet that we got a hotspot, so this will make a good test run for that too. But this is my son. This is Wesley. He is 8 years old.
Yep. Hello.
Soon to be 9 now. And one day we actually hope to do a gaming channel together.
Yep.
Yeah, which should be pretty wild, which is his idea. I don't know if some of you guys are into gaming. If you guys are into gaming, let us know. Let us know if you'd watch that. But that should be cool for us to do. He come up with a name for it too. What was that name for the channel? Or should we tell him, or should we keep it a secret?
Let's keep it a secret.
Keep it a secret so nobody takes it.
Yep.
Yeah.
To be a surprise.
All right, all right. Well, hello everybody in the chat. And if you got aquarium questions as well, we can help you with your aquarium questions. He's going to co-host with me, kind of read the chat and read some questions if he sees them as well. And we'll just see what comes up. We didn't really have a plan. We're just going to go with the flow and see what happens. But
okay.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
So is there anything you would like to say to him that you had specifically?
No.
No? Maybe a thank you for all their support. Because these guys help our family so much. Everybody on this channel.
Really?
Yeah, with all their orders and support. We couldn't be doing all this without them.
Okay.
Yeah. So thank you all so much for your guys' support for so long. Chris Trapp says, what is your favorite fish?
Probably goldfish.
Your goldfish?
Yep.
And you got a couple goldfish, don't you?
Yep.
Yep. And we should do an update on that at some point.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah. And things actually have been clearing up quite a bit. Let's see. Cosman says, how much do you bench press? I don't really go for like numbers, so I'm using more technique and focused on like certain muscle groups instead of just worried about how much I bench. It's more on that, and I don't like do hardcore tests or weights either. I'll just try to keep in shape. It's not a contest for me. Oh, the kid. Yeah, how much do you bench press, Wesley?
I don't really bench press.
You don't really bench press. We got Kitty joining us here too. Oh, well, there she goes. Kitty's joining us tonight. Having a good weekend.
Yep.
Been trying to work on some plumbing.
That's good.
Yeah, been doing that. All right, let's see. And you know, I couldn't deny my son a live stream on here just because, for me, this is kind of a proud dad moment, and we're gonna share that with you guys. He's my favorite person in the world. Mel Wolf says, just added 2 female rams and 1 male German blue ram. It's a 29 heavily planted with 1 juvie, male killie, 6 Pandagara, and 6 Cory, 10 autos. So far, so good. Loving a weird combo, question mark. Well, I actually really love that kind of combo. With the Rams, I would just keep an eye out on those, but I think the Pandagaras and the autos are fast enough that they don't have to worry about the Rams too much. I would just keep an eye on those and make sure that they don't do anything too weird, but I bet it's a very cool thing. All right. Well, 40 of you guys in here, not a whole lot of questions. Am I in live chat? I am, or at least I thought I was.
Pretty sure you're in live chat.
Yeah. Where are your things?
Probably axolotls.
Axolotls, yeah. You got a few of those too, huh?
Yep.
And if you guys haven't seen our axolotl videos, we've actually been keeping them with no filter and no chiller. And they've been doing great, haven't they?
Yep.
They've gotten huge too since we've got them. We really need to do an update video on that as well. Well, since we did do the fish room tour video, if you guys haven't seen the fish room tour video, YouTube's not always the best of putting out the notifications for you guys. I mean, I've got over 60,000 subscribers, but yet I get maybe 5,000 notifications spread out to that. Now I know not everybody has the notifications on, but I know higher percent of what they send out does. So that's out, and I will be coming up with an update on the stuff outside. So maybe we'll do a full update of the stuff on the inside with the quarantine tank and Wesley's tanks. Whoa, careful! I don't think he's used to sitting down and this still for this long. That's probably a record for you to sit that still for that long.
No, it's not.
No, it's not? Oh, okay.
I actually moved a bit.
Yeah,
But
you did. I don't think you could sit still for that long. I wonder. We've never really played that game to see who could sit still the longest.
Okay.
Which you're fine. You don't have to. But I bet I'd win. Ha 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 ha. Nino Franklin says, what's his name?
Probably like Fortnite and Super Mario Odyssey and like Donut County.
Donut County, really?
Yep.
That's up in the top list? That's kind of surprising.
Yep.
And it was his idea to actually put on these LRB shirts.
Yep.
He thinks we should push more merch.
Yep.
But I was like, we don't really push merch so much on here, but he actually had a really good idea before we jumped on here, but we're going to keep that a secret too, because it's a whole market we could niche. He's actually a really smart guy. He comes up with all kinds of ideas and puts me in my place all the time.
I know.
I know you know, bud. You're a good man. Bonhoff says, when moving fish to softer water, what do I need to watch out for? So with softer water, actually, when you're moving them to softer water, it's actually easier than if you're moving them to hard water, because in softer water, there's actually different bacterials and fungals that live, but there's also less that live in softer water. So when you're moving them and transitioning fish from softer to harder, it can actually be harder to do. The transition actually, like usual, just make sure your fish isn't doing anything weird, but I don't think you'll really have much issue with it. Most fish don't mind going to soft opposed to if they weren't supposed to go to hard. Oh, thank you, Mel Wool. Says, thanks for disproving tons of myths in the hobby. I mean, somebody has to. The only problem is most people, when they hear me talk about it, and they're like, this guy's off his rocker. He don't know what he's talking about. He's not saying what everybody else is saying. So, I mean, I kind of have to deal with that. But for the people who do watch and listen and open-minded and can critical think, I'm here for you. Leo209 Aquatics says, you know where to order feeder crayfish? I have not a clue at all. But if anybody can help Leo, that's in the chat, that would be very helpful. Ben Raphael says, I'm looking to go to African cichlids to saltwater, maybe discus. Should I just take the substrate out and replace it with fresh substrate, as it's what makes the water hard? Well, it depends. I guess I don't know how much hardness you're getting out of it from the substrate and from your tap water. But if you are using soft water with that harder substrate that makes it hard, then that acidity can actually break down and those fish can uptake that. So, I don't know. It really depends on how your water really reacts to it. And if you're still on like the neutral side or close to the neutral side, I wouldn't worry about what the disc is, unless you're like really trying to hardcore breed them and stuff. Besides that, they can actually uptake the minerals. It's good for them. Cosmin, for your Caradinas, what are the water parameters you keep them in? Do you mess with RO and remineralization? So I do not mess with RO and remineralization. I have been down that rabbit hole and have done all that. But I'm actually blessed with my water here. We have more acidic water that it's 170 TDS, but then it's really alkaline as well because we have all that limestone around here. So the softness of that water actually breaks down a lot of that mineralization and helps feed the tanks, because when the mineralization can get broken down, the plants and or fish and shrimp can uptake it a lot easier than if, say, you have like hard water to where that hardness can't break down. It doesn't get eaten up by the acidity. So that helps with my Caradinas. And it's about 170 TDS for them, and the temperatures between 77, 74 around here. And yeah, they just kind of stay within that tap water. I'm sure there's other stuff in it, and I really need to do a GH and KH test on it to see if we're actually breaking that KH myth or not, because I'm pretty sure it's not just GH that's in my water. I'd be really surprised. And somebody was asking about the rock piles in there too, for like the new viewers, why I do rock piles within a lot of my aquariums. And that's just for, and my Caradina, Neo-Caradina shrimp tanks, and some of my fish tanks, but it's mostly for comfort, create a nursery somewhere for them to live, and also it gives them more surface area for the shrimp, which is always better. And it kind of creates a little motel for them. So mostly breeding and comfortability. Well, it's like you say, proof's in the pudding. Exactly. I can show you guys how I do it and what all's done, but
Do you think Mom is in the chat at all?
I don't know. I haven't seen her on here at all.
But
Yeah, she
I'm
might
pretty
be
sure
busy.
I did for a little while.
Did you?
Sure.
You saw Lady LRB in here?
Yep.
I don't know if I did.
It's a lot on the top.
Well, maybe she'll say something again. Yeah, if she's listening.
But
Good old Lady
I don't know if
LRB.
she's still here or not, but if she still is, hi, Mom.
Oh, there she is. She says,
Hi.
I am. Yep. And we've been trying to get Lady LRB up to 1,000 subs here, which she's getting really close, you guys. So thank you all who's gone over there and subbed to her and checked out her content. She's been doing her plant room tours recently, and actually her next one should be all the plants within the barn here. And her collection has really gotten pretty wild and big since she has started. She's got kind of I think she's got a before plant room tour and then all of what's grown out. Mom's been doing a good job, hasn't she?
Do you want to show the audience kitty?
It's, maybe she's kind of right here. I don't know if we can see her. She's the Halloween cat. Our Halloween cat. She's running off. Yeah, they've actually seen Kitty quite a few times on some of our videos.
Yep.
For those who watch a lot, huh?
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Some of you guys, some of them have seen you a lot in some of the older videos. They haven't seen you for quite a while, though. You're kind of growing up on them.
I guess I just basically disappeared.
Yeah, you just quit jumping in. You used to come jump in on my live streams all the time. Do you remember doing that?
Yep.
Come running down the stairs and be like, hello. So this will be a nice treat for all those who have missed you. All right, Farm, Fish, and Freedom says, hey, I got some my LFS. I was wondering how straight.
See what it looks like outside.
Okay, cool.
So you better keep the audience in company, okay?
All right, I'll try my best to keep them all in company.
Thanks.
I'm sure they'll let me know if I get out of line. How straight do the bees breed? So when it comes to shrimp, you never know how straight the lineage will actually breed out of the shrimp because not all lines breed the same. It really depends on how they were bred out and how they were taken care of. So especially with the newer strains and things like those, a lot of them hardly um, push out much of the same, so they can be a lot tougher to get like full straight line. And so with the orange bee, I don't really know the fish stores and LFSs will call like orange bee shrimp a whole different shrimp. So it's really hard to tell what you have as the shrimp. If you were to send me a picture through email, I can identify it to you, but it might be an orange neocaridina or something. And those fish stores, they just get them labeled in weird ways, and it could be a completely different line shrimp. Mel Wool says, my TDS is over 300. Fish happy. GH 13, KH 7. Since adding crushed coral, it used to be KH of 3 and 8 pH out of the tap over 8, but between the use of botanicals and crushed coral, the tank hovers to 7. Yes, because when you add those botanicals, that's creating and adding that acidity, which helps break down that KH. The pH is more of a reading per hydrogen and stuff like that, which also sort of tells you more of the density and thickness of your water, which the GH and KH is more like your minerals, compounds, and what the acidity actually breaks down. And those botanicals, whether they're sticks or leaves or something of the sort, help add that to it. It's like making a aquarium stew, nature stew. Mel Wool says, through the use of botanicals and crushed coral are happy in the tanks are 7 to 4, 7 to 8 pH, 3 TDS over 300. Seems like I'm doing something right. Yeah, you're doing it right because as I mentioned, you add that acidity and it breaks down that mineralization, which all the aquariums inhabitants can uptake a lot easier through osmosis or through the plants eating them up. Oh my gosh, passing wind. It's a big boy at 15.
Go outside for a little bit.
You're gonna go back outside again? You don't have any questions or gonna read these comments for me?
I was just going outside to maybe sing or something.
Okay, yeah, well, you can go do that. That's fine. Do what you gotta do, bro. Alright. Yeah, those rice fish are cool, passing wind. Bryce Derjavo says, LRB help, I've lost 6 rainbow fish in the past week. That sucks. Sorry to hear that, man. It's always rough. Raised them for years. They got white rash looking patches on their scales basically overnight. 3 dead next day. Medicated general cure. 3+ dead. So what that is telling me with the patches of white rashes, their biofilm is getting irritated. So they weren't able to protect themselves and their skin, and something was really irritating it. So their slime coat over went it, and what usually can cause something of this sort is if oh man, is you could have some bad tap water, maybe you didn't get dechlorinated enough, and maybe it started destroying their slime coat, and or which is rarer, a fungus could have broke out, and you could use API fungus cure, which can help take care of that. But man, yeah, that sucks to hear. Sorry to hear that. So maybe do a water change or a light water change, or add just more dechlor. I don't know what you did like the days leading above it or the time before it happened. If you did do water changes and something like that could have happened, then I would go that route. If not, then the fungus cure. Oh, there's Grammy's in the chat.
Huh?
Right there. Says hi guys from Indiana.
Great.
Sunset Jen says what's Wesley like about the new fish barn? Favorite things about living in Florida. What do you like in the fish barn?
The eyeball beach balls.
Yeah, of course, yes. That would be his favorite, the eyeball beach balls. He loves to hang out up there too, don't you?
Yep.
Yeah. He always has me get the ladder out for him so he can just hang out up there when he does come in. You don't come in here as much as you should, though.
Yep.
I wish you'd come over more.
Mm-hmm.
And then favorite things about living in Florida? You got any favorite things?
Probably it's water.
It's water, all the water.
And the outside world.
Yeah.
Because of its perfect temperature.
Yeah. It's pretty awesome here. We had fun on that boat ride yesterday, didn't we?
Yep.
It was nice. Just seeing all the nature and temperature. I mean, that's what I love about Florida. So you hit that on the head.
Can I have some water?
Oh, yeah, here, I got you.
Thanks.
Welcome. And Bryce says, I haven't changed any habits with the tank for 3+ years. Yeah, but see, the problem is, especially around this time of year, is many cities, depending on where you're at, they will flush chemicals down the drain to kind of clear them out and clean them up. And it happens very often during the fall. It used to happen to me all the time in Indy. And maybe they flush excess chlorine, chloramine, and that chlorine or chloramine in excess, if you don't treat it for that excess, can mess up that slime coat.
Hi.
Yeah, saying hi to Nietzsche. Hello, Nietzsche. Yep. Glad to see you in here, Nee. Guppy Gal says, any advice about keeping a trio? You're bringing all the girls out. Guppy Gal says, any advice about keeping a trio of rams in a 10 or 15 gallon? One female at 2 inch or so, a male and a female that are her size. Should I find another tank for one of the ladies? So one's about half her size. Oh, the male and female is about half her size. So, I mean, being a 1 inch to 2 inch difference, maybe not such a big issue. If it was like a 3-1, then maybe, depending on the aggression of the female and the personality, which that can vary between the fish. The best thing to do is just keep an eye on them. And then if you see her being aggressive or you see parts of fins being a little torn up, you'll have warning signs before she does anything like too drastic. Then I would think about getting another tank for the lady. But I would recommend having another tank at any time, just for such case. And Mel Wolf says, Father Fish says to treat fungal cure with antibacterial as that's the root cause of fungal. True. I mean, antibacterials are for antibacterials and antifungals are typically for antifungals. I use the API for any fungal issues and also for like the slime coat issues it kind of helps with as well, because I think that's what it more targets for. And as far as like the different things that people may diagnose as fungal issues and or bacterial issues definitely varies a lot within this hobby and how we go about that. So I want to say one way or another as far as that goes, because yeah, I don't know. I've never actually tried to approach it with bacterial. Actually, no, I take that back. I have had fungal issues to where like general cure, which is a antibacterial, not work for the case, and then me having to use API fungal cure. That has happened to me way back in the day. You are taller than me. And faster than me, too.
Yep.
Jeez. What am I going to do? In my old man body.
I'll be back.
That's what he told me today.
Wow,
He's like, your old man body can't catch me.
Keep them entertained
He's a
while
character.
I go say hi to Mom, okay?
Okay, I'll do my best. I'll do my best. But we're here because of Wesley, so thank him for this extra live stream, or it wouldn't have happened. And I figured, why not? It's Sunday. I was kind of taking it easy. Tired from all the driving I'm doing and whatnot. Oh, yeah, I don't know. We don't really have a flashlight, bro. Maybe your mom can come bring you one if she's listening. Let's see. ADHD Aquatic says, Lucas, please advice on where to get the most cost-effective RODI unit and tank. I want to set up some RODI water to sell to customers. So if you're trying to sell to customers RODIY, maybe not most cost-effective. Well, I don't know. Cost effective could be like the best efficiency at what money, but there is also the saying you get what you pay for. I really like the Aqua FX machines that they make. And I don't know how much water you're trying to get done, because if you're actually trying to sell it, that could add up pretty quick. But when I had my RODI, the big one, at the old house that did like 3,000 gallons a day, it was Aqua FX that I got that from. Besides that, I haven't really been in the marketplace for them, so I couldn't really tell you much else from what I knew a few years ago. Bryce Derjavo says, I usually dechlorinate my water as soon as I start the hose. The water changed before that all happened. I put the Seachem Prime in after the tank was already filled. Would that make a difference? Not so much, because I usually would I'd put in a little bit and then fill it and then put in a little bit. And sometimes I'd just wait till the end and put it in. I never was a fan of Seachem Prime though. I have had issues with Seachem Prime in the past and have heard others have. And I know many people use it. That's like the prime go-to dechlor out there for most people, because there's not a whole lot else competing against them that is right in front of the marketplace, at least in the Petco stores and the Pet Supply Plus, which are the more common places that people go to view those sorts of items. I've always been a big fan of Wetco, WECO dechlor. But yeah, it could just be, I would do another water change and then go ahead and treat it as normal, and hopefully that can help. I would do a small water change. I would do something like 25%, and if you have a filter or anything on it, make sure you keep that dirty, because that beneficial bacteria will help with their slime coats and stuff. Are you all right, buddy? Did you run all the way over there or something?
Yeah,
And
Mom
back
was
already?
running too.
Oh, you guys met in the middle?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
And she was still watching somehow.
Was she?
Yep.
Yeah, on her phone. All right, and Goose says, setting up my first tank.
Hey, Dad, how much longer until it ends?
I don't know. How much longer should we go?
30 more minutes.
30 more minutes? You want to go another 30 minutes?
Yep.
People are going to get tired of watching my channel. Think people get tired of watching my channel?
No.
No? I don't know
Your
either.
channel's the best.
I appreciate that, bud. I appreciate that. But Ingoose says, setting up my first tank. Had as a child filterless 60 liters. Got some jars with plants, snails, and stuff from my area to get a sense. But is there some common pitfall to look out for with this style? For like collecting out in the area, you can pick up certain parasitic things that could potentially be a problem. But as long as it like settles out and you're not seeing issues within like some tester fish or something before you like go spend a bunch of money on fish and then put them in the system to have them find the parasites, then that's the only thing to really look out. That would be the main pitfall, and about the only pitfall I could think of. And Goose says, love the natural grit of your tanks. Well, thank you, thank you. Eventually, they will be more cleaned up. Well, it's kind of tough. It's always a battle because this natural grit is the best for breeding stuff. But at the same time, I kind of want some nice, like maybe some Dutch style tanks or something. Which I'll have. I got enough tanks I could do a bit of this and that with. Zelf Ernidi, I don't know if I said that last name right, but it says, how do you know when it's time to change carbon block? I usually use it when I fill up the water for fish tanks. So that's actually a really good question. And since I never really had a good answer for it and never wanted to learn the hard way on it, because I'm guessing if your carbon block ain't gonna work, then your chloramine's gonna come out. So in front of for my big RO unit, I had a carbon block tower, which was like 4 foot tall. And then in front of that, I had like a pre-filter carbon that I would just change out every 3 months. So I at least knew that there was enough carbon getting into the water and cleaning it without me having to worry about. So I would guess if your fish are sucking for air, you're probably got chloramine in there, and you want to act fast as far as treating it, and that's usually a sign of your carbon block not taking that out. But I actually never changed mine at the old house because I never really had to. Let's see. Luca Brazzi says 42 hex with a partial under gravel filter, aqua clear 50 power head, lots of flow. Would I be better off with the aqua clear 30 with less flow? Would this help with my algae issues? Yes. Actually, yes. So I would probably just run that partial under gravel filter.
$5 donation.
I did. We need to get to that.
Yep.
Thanks for seeing that.
You're welcome.
But yeah, that less flow actually has helped. That's why I do a lot of my no filter tanks, is mostly for my plants and to keep the algae off of them. Because it's like if they've got too much power and flow, that it pushes them like the wind. You got to think about that as it's like the wind. And that can stress the plant out, which can also make it be susceptible to algae, like unhealthy plants. And Henry Figaro, thank you so much for the support in the $5 super chat. Says, I am love seeing more live streams and I can't get enough of them. Well, that is awesome. So Wesley was right. Once again, Wesley.
You'll love more live streams of me.
Yeah. I can imagine, maybe.
And I should start a gaming channel.
Yeah. You know, the world's your oyster. Sunset Jen says, what do you know about Anubias going brown on the beginning and the spreading along the rhizomes? How do you manage it? So sometimes it can happen from natural, just it's moving away from itself, or maybe it's not getting enough light to that area, and or it's being transitioned from, like, say you bought it from a farm and it was grown out of water. Now it has to get into its underwater form, and that can make the rhizomes and leaves brown. And it's a very, very slow process, so the plant doesn't have to be like brand new. Like, it can happen months afterwards when that happens, but it can just be transitioning. As long as you're seeing new growth on it, then that's a good sign. And if you're not seeing new growth on it, then more than likely, which it's really hard to get not enough light on Anubias.
We're about to hit 100 viewers.
We are. during Friday night streams, we're usually over that. Not everybody's used to us on a Sunday. Surprise.
Yep, surprise.
But yeah, if it's not the lighting, because they don't really take a whole lot of light to grow.
But it's basically nighttime now, so like 1 out of 2 is complete. It's just not Friday.
Yeah, right. We got the night part. Let's see. Scroll. Slaughter says, have you ever had to deal with the staghorn algae and any tips of battling it? Yes, I have. And hydrogen peroxide works really well. So what you could do is you can drain your water level down and or take it out of the tank and then spray it with some hydrogen peroxide within a bottle, or maybe just dribble that on there. And then you can add the water back in, or add the unit back in after a little rinse, and that will discolor the staghorn. Whoa, watch your back, buddy. Oh, you're about to hit that corner. There you go. And then that will discolor that staghorn, and when that staghorn starts getting discolored, it will like kind of look like tie-dye. It's really gnarly. It'll go from like orange, red, and purple, and all kinds of different colors. That's how you know you beat it. And also just normal water changes can help, and or just manual removal, which it doesn't spread around like a lot of algae do if you just manually remove it. Waka waka.
Walk.
Let's see. Scroll. Looking for those questions. If you got them, always helps to put a question mark behind them.
Pretty sure there's one right there.
Yeah, that's the one we just read about, this staghorn. Like a painted gar runs 60 mile an hour nonstop, driving reckless as well. Yeah, they're all over the place. That's why I love the painted gars. It's cool when you see them like battle with each other too. Like they don't hurt each other, but they look like they're about to like sumo wrestle and stuff. I got a video here on YouTube of it somewhere. Henry Figaro says, I was just wondering if I could use the humidifier water on my fish in my fish room. I get about 10 gallons a day. So with the newer dehumidifiers, you can, and I have used it before. The older dehumidifiers, not so much. Because I think there was something in him from, and I mean, like, not, I don't think a lot of people run those older dehumidifiers though. But I'm saying that just for disclosure. CC says, my tank has an algae problem. I tried Dawn dish detergent, but that only made it worse. Any suggestions for algae? I hope you're kidding. I really hope you're kidding me. If you really are, if you aren't kidding me about the Dawn dish detergent, I would recommend just watching the channel and type in like LRB aquarium setup, or just how we keep aquariums. You should never need any dish soap or chemicals like that, because that actually tears up your cycles, your bacteria cycles, all your natural cycles that help take care of your aquarium, and can cause issues to be much worse. So algae is actually Mother Nature's great equalizer. If it wasn't for algae, we would have a lot more trouble keeping aquariums, because it helps eat up the excesses that could become problematic to fish, whether it be waste, ammonia, excess nutrients, whatever, phosphates, stuff of that sort. So usually the cause of the algae, and the way to beat the algae is to find out the cause of the algae and why it's in excess. And most algae grows in excess due to too much nutrients. So say if you went and got some substrate that had lots and lots of nutrients in it, but you didn't have enough plants in that aquarium with that fancy substrate with all the nutrients in it to absorb that, then the algae would take the place of the plants. So if you had more plants, you would have less algae. That is dangerous. You could have whipped me in the face with that, and trust me, you don't want to get yourself in the face with it either, and or me. And so if you got more plants absorbing all that excess nutrients, then that will help you as well combat that algae. And also, we tend to overlight and put too much light on our aquariums. That also feeds a lot of that algae. So I would go it with that perspective instead of just trying to cleanse everything, because that is not good for your fish and or shrimp, or just biology of your aquarium. And when it comes to keeping a healthy natural aquarium, that's a lot easier to maintain than, and where you don't have to do a lot of maintenance. Like, I don't have to do a bunch of water changes and maintenance in my aquariums because I keep them with a lot of biology in them and biological sound water, which means they're got a lot of bacteria and stuff in them.
You've ever gotten?
Can't remember if I got a $500 one once or not. I don't remember.
Oh my gosh.
There's been a lot of $100 ones. Excuse me. Are you all right?
Yep.
Ebor Millie says, if you could only have one tank, what would it be? It would be a really huge one, like 1,000,000 gallons. It would be the one in the Georgia aquarium, actually, that has like the whale sharks. I think if I had to choose one, I would take that one. Mel Wool says, any ideas on getting rid of a Nubius rot whenever... Mel Wool says, any ideas on getting rid of a Nubius rot? Whenever I find one, I toss the whole thing and was trying... Oh, no, no, no. You should never toss the whole thing. So that rot that you get on the Nubius, it's not like it spreads and kills it. And 100%... What's up?
Hungry.
You're hungry? All right. Well, you know where food is, right?
Yeah.
But I think this is an important question that I got to answer on this guy's comments, so I think we should cover that. You can go get some food if you need to. Seems like you need some water here. Get some water. But so when it comes to those Anubias rot, and I'm sure the industry plays a lot of role in this, and other companies too, because they've got to sell their product, and they're selling product that is grown out of the water. So when that is farmed, and most all Anubias that you guys are getting is grown out of the water because it grows much faster out of the water. And as it dies and is getting used to being underwater, which it can grow underwater, it just takes that transition. So that's what's showing up as that Anubias rot as well. And it gets blamed for, I guess it's getting blamed for, maybe you got to take it out or it travels, but it won't travel. You just, as long as you're getting new growth on that Anubias,
Hey, Dad.
you should be able to keep it.
Can you end the live stream when it hits the 1 hour mark?
Yeah, that's the plan.
Good.
I'm kind of a slow goodbyer, so it may not hit it exactly.
That's okay.
Okay.
I'll accept like 1 minute or higher.
Oh, and then what happens if I don't?
Nothing.
Am I fired?
No.
Oh, well, thanks. I appreciate that.
Perfect.
Thanks, buddy. You're nice. Miss Hissy Fit, a.k.a. Prue Prue, says, oh, she's talking to Mom. Never mind. Alec Watson says, have you got more tanks than Old House? So I think we are pretty close to it. I think between the house and the barn, and if you count all the containers, then yes, we are. We've got more here now. So yeah, moving on up. Took us a little while, but you know, I'm gonna do it right. Slaughter says, I did a major trimming yesterday to help, so I hope that does the trick. Yeah, trimming will help too, because after you trim your plants, then they'll start pulling a lot of excess nutrients out as well, which helps balance that and equalizes your tank. Biddy bobbity boo. How many tanks of yours are green water, Ebor Millie? I think only 2 right now. No, I got, wait, 3. I got 3 going on 4, I think. So I got 1 that's about to turn green, so I've only got 4 right now. Big Shrimpin', aka Steve C, says hello. Sunday night, howdy, Mr. LRB. Well, howdy, howdy. Yeah, surprise, we're here.
How are you?
It's
Hope you have
Wesley's
a great
idea.
day.
Yeah, it's Wesley's idea, so you can thank him.
Hello.
He's like, you should do a live with me. He's never asked me for that, so
Mom
here
said
we are.
something about me.
She did. She says Wesley's getting a little tired. Do you believe that? Do you believe that? I couldn't believe it either. Nathan Hobie says, all my Kambamba is losing all the leaves on the lower half of the stem. I'd say about 4 inches at the top is great. The
Daddy
result.
reached 100 viewers.
We did. We're up over it.
Yay!
Yay! Should they hit the like button then while they're in here?
Yep.
All right.
The goal is 100 likes.
Ooh, you hear that? Well, you're a little over halfway there.
Yep.
Oh, we got another one. Somebody helped us. Thank you to that person and the 68 others.
I guess people more likely listen to me than you.
Yeah, you know, I could probably believe that.
Yep.
Could probably believe that. I'd say about 4 inches at the top is great and the rest is just stem. Why, how to fix this? So often that's usually how it's uptaking nutrients and or light. So as it gets closer to the light, it starts pulling more of that power out of it. And if you're not on a regular fertilization regimen, maybe it's not getting fed enough, and or it could be lack of water changes that can cause that too. So there can be a few things that could mess up its intake of its fertilization and how it grows its leaves out. So it could be a combo of those things. And what you could do is you could do a test to where you trim it and you keep the good part and grow it and see how it grows lower to your aquarium. Also could be a lack of light. Maybe your lower leaves aren't getting enough light and that could be causing problems. And or it could just be some stem plants. And I'm not sure what the...
Dad?
You sure can. If you want to. You need a flash... Mom give you a flashlight?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Cool. And can you let her know I'm hungry? Ready to eat? Please. But with the Kambamba, sometimes with those plants, they... And this goes with most aquarium plants. Bless you, buddy. With most aquarium plants, they are trying to get up and out of the water because naturally they don't usually stay under the water all the time. And so as they're trying to reach towards the top and get out of the water, then they will start losing their bottom leaves because they feel as if they don't need it anymore. And they will actually, some plants, if you don't keep them trimmed, they will start losing their roots and then they'll start trying to grow and float up towards the top. Mosquito. I'll feed this to the killies real quick. That's what the killie tank's good for. Alright, alright. And let's see. So I hope that helps you out with your stems. And I know a lot of people have issues with trying to deal with that as well. And if you do consistent water changes, especially with stem plants like Kambamba, they really like to hold on to that reoxygenation when you do that water change, and it helps them grow so much. All right, scroll, and we got about 10 minutes left here. Then hopefully I can find some food. Melville says, it does spread and turns the rhizome to mush. All the leaves fall off. It spreads to old ones, and I've had no issues with for a long time. Oh, wow. So I've never actually heard of that being an issue myself, so that's kind of new to me. I've never seen or heard of something like that. I don't know. There's a lot of messed up waterways, especially in America right now. That has made my job harder. I mean, some cities like, what is it, Jackson, Mississippi or something now, and Flint, Michigan's still not fixed with their water. And then let's not even forget about East Palestine and what all happened over there. Unfortunately, a lot of our water sources have been having a lot of issues. So maybe that can have a stint to what's getting in the waterway. And not to mention all the pharmaceuticals that get flushed down the toilet as well within a lot of these city waters. Hello, fish face. Hope you're doing well. Let's see. Yeah, it's getting cold. Cold around the U.S. So hopefully y'all are minding your guys' ponds outside. Sunset Jen says, I have aged untouched filter that trickles water. I've noticed it has grown various colored fungus in its sponge at the water surface. Do you think it's a cause for concern? So what that fungus is probably eating off of, and if it's like up towards the top of the water, is either dead decaying material and or excess food. And I think if it's at the top, it's not such an issue because that's all getting trickled down and through the rest of your filter, which all that beneficial bacteria will counterbalance any and all of that. So I don't think it's a big issue. Sometimes on my plants, especially if like food gets stuck in them or if they're floating on top, overgrow themselves. Sometimes the white fungus will grow on them. And I've never had any issues with it as far as fish and or shrimp. It's whenever food gets fungused and then the fish eat that fungused food, that's when you normally have an issue with that sort of white fungus in your aquarium. Besides that, like fungus coming out of driftwood and or off rocks and stuff like that, I've just seen fish eat them up. So I don't know. I wouldn't stress about it too much. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's my motto with this hobby. Fish Face, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. The awesome support. Says, hey Lucas, I have a bunch of brilliant rasboras about 4 years old. One of them has a seriously bent, crooked spine that I noticed for the first time recently. Could it just be old age? Yeah, so as soon as you said those were 4 years old, I was thinking, wow, they're getting up there. So yeah, more than likely is just getting geriatric. I would not approach the tank with any meds or anything. It's just age. But good question. And thank you so much for the support. Because a lot of people don't realize whenever their fish get geriatric, blaming it on, oh, it was this fungus, oh, it was this, oh, it was that, oh, it was the fish. And it's just old age. That's why I love my big pond, and that's where I like to put my geriatric fish. If you guys remember at the old house too, I had that 125. I'd always put my geriatric older fish in. Not always great for like showing you guys. You guys are like, oh, he's got goofy fish. But actually, no, you guys have all been cool about it. I usually don't get comments like that. Let's see. Henry Figueroa says, have you ever tried to breed bamboo shrimp? I heard it's really hard to do. So I personally have not, and I haven't really looked into it. So I couldn't really tell you a whole lot about those bamboo shrimp and how to breed them. Passing Wind says, what aquatic plant fertilizer do you use that is also safe for shrimp? So the stuff I used in all my shrimp tanks, my fish tanks. If you type in LRB plant food, then you should get a video that tells you all about it. And what I would do is I would get these dry ferts from Nilo CG, and then I would put them into my own liquid fertilization. And Lady LRB actually has a video on her channel, I think, of that as well, because she usually did it for me. But we do have a full video that like breaks it down. Because you could spend a lot of money on that liquid fertilization, and I figured out how to do it myself, so I've saved a ton of money actually. Ingoose says Flint water is still flammable. Yeah, that's horrible. And you know what's even more horrible about that is that guy took that machine up there to make them water through the air, where it actually pulls it from the air. The military has this sort of equipment, and they could freaking use it over there, but instead it was sabotaged, so they couldn't get good water. Like, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on right now, and has been going on right now on purpose. This isn't just coincidence. This isn't just like that issue could have been fixed a long time ago. It's absolute insanity, really. All right. I'm not seeing many more questions here. Clamp fins on my bettas help. So, Zoe, could you? I would probably approach it with the general cure, API general cure with the clamp fins. That usually helps take care of that. And then if that does not help, then you may want to look into fungus, the API fungus cure. But that general cure should help you. You see clamp fins though, it's good to treat for that. And or it could be another comfort thing. Now you can do it without meds to where you get your fish tank biologically sound enough to where it just naturally takes care of itself. If you got dirty fish tanks like that have a lot of detritus in them, or dirty filters that are brown, and believe it or not, those can actually help fish bounce back from things like clamp fins, because all the microorganisms can off balance them. Plus, it helps them get a natural biofilm slime coat around their body. So, the main thing that protects fish and their bodies from like things like clamp fins and or fungus issues, all kinds of issues and infections, is that slime coat. Same with us humans. Us humans aren't too different. And matter of fact, many of us wash with too harsh chemicals that where we rip our own um, protection away. Slaughter says, do you rip apart aquariums that have sick fish or a fish that died of dropsy? No, I never do. Never do. But I really don't get like a whole lot of sick fish that come through here. Let me say that much, because I do get a lot of my fish through other hobbyists and through my club. So I'm not getting them from like Petco and stuff like that. Now, if I was getting fish from Petco and from like wholesale places or any of the sort that have bought from those wholesalers, not saying they're all bad, but a lot of fish, it's a numbers game. A lot of opportunity to catch something. So I don't deal with a lot of those type of fish. But if I did, I might have a different answer for that. It would really depend on what it was. Like, say if it's Calamanus worms and I saw it or something, yeah, you're just probably better off ripping the tank apart. If it's just ick or something like that, and you can treat that because you can raise the temperature up enough to where ick will never come through. But say if it's dropsy, something like that, nah, I want to worry about that too much, because dropsy doesn't really spread fish to fish. Aquatic Habitats Cove says, any cool mosquito larvae or insects in the outdoor tanks? So they're, I don't know. That's really a good question because even the ones that I've seen that don't have fish in hasn't been a whole lot, but I can't say I've actually looked into them too much for that sort of thing. I'm usually looking for the fish. But we will have an updated video coming out. Probably Wednesday I may release it. Almost released it today, but I figured I'd hang on to it. Let the fish room tour marinate a little bit that I just released yesterday. Henry Figueroa says, any hits on the new plants you got? Question mark, question mark. Any hits on the new plants you got? So did you ask me Friday? I know somebody asked me Friday on if I got any new plants that are going to be on the website or if anytime there will be some. I actually do have more plants that I'm sitting on that I didn't even really think about. There's a lot going on in this fish room, and it's always not always as easy to just bat off what I have available in here. So coming up should be some new things. Motor City Aquatic says, what food do you feed all your tanks? Tetra tropical granules is what I use. So it's not like the crisp, but it's the granules, which I'm not sponsored or anything by these guys. And a big reason why I use this is because the granulation of it, I can customize it per tank and for my baby fish. And since the color of it, I was attracted to it. And like price per container and everything, I don't have much of a big food bill on what I feed everything. And they always go bananas for it. You would think they would get tired of it, but they always go bananas for it. All right, we are over the hour mark. I guess I went over my 1 minute. Luckily, Wesley said he wasn't going to fire me. Nathan Hovey says loading. Anyone else loading? Good, because I put that container in front of you guys. But either way, I'm going to hop off here anyways and hopefully get something to eat. I hope you guys all have a great week coming up. Like I mentioned, I will have that video probably out on Wednesday with what's going on outside. And then hopefully start catching up more with the plumbing systems and all that here this week. And get some fish moved around, which you guys members should be seeing a video of the weekly roundup as usual this Saturday coming up. So, and I'll see you guys on Friday as well. And who knows whenever I'll do another surprise stream because, well, expect the unexpected here. Till next time, everybody, peace. Have a great one. Da 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 da. LRB Aquatics.com.